And we're underway from College Park. Justin Shockey, the junior from Potomac, winning it for the Terrapins. First touch of the game for Jared Bernhardt. Working behind the cage to the far side. Wisnauskas to Bernhardt. Coming around and trying to tuck it in, but it goes wide. It will stay with the Terrapins. Kirikoff applying pressure from the cage.
Last year in the season opener for Maryland, they scored 8 seconds in against High Point.
Works its way over to Bubba Fairman now. Here's Kyle Long looking to attack. He does, and he puts it in the top shelf and opens the scoring on 2021 for the Terrapins.
Yet another hot start for Maryland, scoring on their opening possession of the season once again. John Tillman loves this kid, Kyle Long. Saw a lot of playing time as a freshman 2 years ago, then had 3 goals last year, including 2 against a really good Notre Dame team. This time just dodges down the left wing, finds the top corner. The pace of this game, by the way, Brendan, they're more than happy to make this a single-digit game. They won 25 straight games when holding opponents to single digits.
Grant McCurry's trying to spin away from the persistent Terrapins defense. Now it's up top to Jackson. Behind the cage for Zawada. Trying to spin inside, a shot and a goal. The sophomore picking up right where he left off a season ago, and he's tied this one up at 1 for the Wolverines.
Well, what a fantastic move that is from Zawada. On the long stick, Matt Rahill, who's picking up a start this year after only getting 1 start a season ago. Looks like he's working outside, then just a little quick turn inside.
Kicks off to the far side. Bernhardt will back it out and look to penetrate from behind the cage. Up top, a shot there that flashes just wide.
Well, that's much better for Maryland offensively. Bernhardt, with his explosiveness, completely unbalances the Michigan defense.
Kyle Long has 2. He sneaks around the front of the cage and tucks it near post, and the Terps have the lead back.
What a quick trigger that is from Kyle Long. Just as I'm wrapping up talking about Jared Bernhardt the previous time with an attempt on goal, Kyle Long makes absolutely no
miss in the season opener a year ago. Here's Kyle Long working on that hat trick. Here's Wisnauskas. Feeds behind the cage for DeMaio, tiptoeing the crease. Up top, the shot, and it's in! Another for the Terrapins. It's Daniel Maltz. Draws the pressure from Kirikoff. Inside the shot, and that one finds the back of the net. Logan Wisnauskas, his first goal of the game, first goal of the season for the senior out of Sykesville.
Well, so far, Michigan had done such a good job forcing Logan Wisnauskas onto his right hand. He's so great with that left-hand shot. So he says, okay, I'll go to my right and just drive to the net and finish at the circle.
In the first and win another face-off to go again. It's Bernhardt. Wisnauskas. And it ends up in the back of the cage, but not necessarily intentionally. But nonetheless, Maryland a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's one that's going to be going on the highlight reels eventually. But it counts just the same, and it all starts from Jared Bernhardt. He does such a great job of unbalancing this Michigan defense, should I say. They have to have multiple defenders on him every single time. So we'll take another look at it. Looked like it went off of Schreiber, the sophomore defender out of Connecticut from Michigan, and Maryland will take it just
in the first and win another face-off to go again. It's Bernhardt. Wisnauskas. And it ends up in the back of the cage, but not necessarily intentionally. But nonetheless, Maryland a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's one that's going to be going on the highlight reels eventually. But it counts just the same, and it all starts from Jared Bernhardt. He does such a great job of unbalancing this Michigan defense, should I say. They have to have multiple defenders on him every single time. So we'll take another look at it. Looked like it went off of Schreiber, the sophomore defender out of Connecticut for Michigan, and Maryland will take it just.
Maryland trying to find a bit of space inside, but they go behind to Kyle Long. Up top, it's Fairman. DeMaio now. Inside, a shot there in top shelf. Logan Wisnauskas.
Are you kidding me on that pass from Anthony DeMaio? A little behind the back whoop to Logan Wisnauskas, who's got tons of space. That's his spot exactly. Take one more look at this. Absolutely ridiculous from Anthony DeMaio. And when Logan Wisnauskas has time and space like that, there's only one player from Buckinavage, though haven't said his name all that much, but he is an explosive scorer.
Here's Bernhardt. Trying to find an inch of space. Bernhardt onto the right hand, behind the cage. Spinning back onto the right. Inside, through the wickets and in. Jake Higgins, the senior. His first goal of the season, and the Terps have 7.
Well, Jake Higgins had a couple of defenders on him. It didn't matter because he was just able to work his way through all of them. Jake Higgins through one defender, through 2 defenders, all the way towards the goal. Maryland rocked.
7 schools in the nation last year to rank in the top 20 in man-up offense and man-down defense. We'll see what the Terps can cook up here. Wisnauskas gets it back into the middle. The shot there and the goal. Daniel Maltz has 2 and the Terps have 8.
Well, coming out of the timeout, that is exactly what John Tillman will have wanted to see on the man-up opportunity. You have to exploit the space, and somebody's going to be open. It was Daniel Maltz right down the seam, where Michigan's done a decent job defending today, but Daniel Maltz with a lot.
Inside, turning a shot that flashes wide. Will stay with Maryland, and 14 seconds left on the extra man opportunity.
Once again, though, that high slot position wide open for Maryland on the man advantage.
Here's Brown. Low shot there, and it sneaks in. A hat trick for Daniel Maltz.
And it's that same exact spot on the field where he scored the first one, that high slot position. Michigan really backing off to try to defend the dodges of Bernhardt and Wisnauskas because they know they have to respect how close they can get to the crease, but that leaves so much time.
Fairman. Spinning onto the left hand, Bubba Fairman. DeMaio now. Traffic in front of him. Wisnauskas dip of the shoulder, it flies over top.
Well, the scouting report is pretty clear on Logan Wisnauskas. Don't let him get to his left hand. He's had to work really hard to even get a half a window of space to get onto that hand with it.
Kyle Long now. Feeds in the middle. At the doorstep is Daniel Maltz. Makes no mistake and puts the Terps up to 10 with a minute to play.
Well, Daniel Maltz just has so much freedom into this offense to move however he wants, and it's a fantastic pick out from Kyle Long. Maltz left his defender absolutely in the dust, had a lot of space, and then the composure. You absolutely love to see that if you're John Tillman. Daniel Maltz, just a sophomore, but the underclassman knows exactly what to do when he gets
Long. Fairman switches onto the right hand. Approaching 30 seconds left on the possession clock for Maryland. DeMaio to Bernhardt at the back door. Jared Bernhardt finds the board for the first time today in his first game as a Terrapin.
That's a couple of absolutely ridiculous passes from Anthony DeMaio, it looked like. First he had the one behind the back, and this time driving from goal line extended, cutting back towards working through a double team, and Bernhardt were aware of the clock.
Here's Puglisi. Coming around, had it knocked out of his stick, but it falls kindly to DeMaio. And it finds its way to Bernhardt behind the goal. Bernhardt, a backhanded shot and a backhanded goal. 2 on the day for the senior. And Maryland has a 10-goal lead over Michigan.
Well, there's simply no stopping that for Jared Bernhardt. He gets the ball back in X, and we take a look at that. 2 defenders on him once again. 1 defender, no problem. 2 defenders, no problem. And
on the day for Jared Bernhardt. Scrum on the big red M, and eventually it's scooped up by the Wolverines. They really got to get something going if they want to have a shout in this game, and there's something right there. A long stick goal coming in and finding its way to the back of the net. It's Jack Whitney, the freshman, his first career goal in college. And what a big time to get it.
Hey, you want a little bit of momentum if you're Michigan, with your backs all the way up against the wall. How about you turn to the freshman long sticker?
Now Bernhardt feeds across the far side. Wisnauskas fires. That hit the post again. Are you kidding me? But it's stolen back here by Maryland. The high pressure pays off. Goodness gracious.
I think a little bit of hesitation there from Logan Wisnauskas.
Here's Chorus through the wickets and in. The freshman, his first goal in college. And he restores the 10-goal lead for Maryland. Jack Chorus from Lutherville.
Well, there was a little hesitation on Wisnauskas the last attack. No hesitation there from the freshman, though, defensive side.
Here's Fairman coming around the near side. Now spins back onto the right hand. Gets some space and puts it over the top. Good hustle there by Michigan to get the restart, but Bubba Fairman getting pretty rare look at cage for him so far today.
Yeah, he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities himself. He's been setting up the play. Doesn't have an assist yet either, but continuing to facilitate this Maryland offense, and he will get those looks on goal eventually.
Giveaway there, scooped up by Maryland. That's Nick Grill, the senior. Now quickly the other way, it's DeMaio spinning in on the right hand and putting it in. DeMaio gets his first of the day to go along with his 3 assists, and Maryland is up 14-3.
Well, Anthony DeMaio feeling with some fancy hands today. He had that behind the back pass earlier, then a little spinorama on Ryan Schreiber. Those non-conference games to kind of work into it. Now we're jumping straight into Big Ten play.
30-second penalty for Maryland issued on Anthony DeMaio.
And there, once again, excellent awareness from McNaney to know where the ball is right in front of his crease, and really aggressive to step out of that crease and corral it himself. Not really relying on his defenders. He's been proactive instead of reactive.
Puglisi lobs it forward into the stick of Bernhardt. Cross pass to Fairman, who puts it in. Tic-tac-toe Terrapins. How about that for a sequence?
And how about that from an absolute ridiculous pass all the way across the field from Bernhardt, the vision to find Fairman, and then the body.
Very consistent game so far. First quarter, Maryland 5 goals. Second quarter, Maryland 5 goals. Third quarter, Maryland 5 goals. And just 1 apiece for Michigan through the first 3 quarters.
And 8 different goal scorers for Maryland as well. Daniel Maltz leading the way with 4, but John Tillman will love to see the variety of ways Maryland can score.
And DeMaio goes near post to add another for the Terps. That's his second of the day. He has 3 assists. And Maryland continues to push that advantage.
Anthony DeMaio can use both hands so well, and there he moves to his right, and then just a quick, he's really starting to mount up, and then losing at the face-off X is something that John Tillman will not want at all from Justin Shockey.
Here's Zawada. Now Jackson at the top, looking to spin on the left hand, a long shot, and he finds the back of the net. How about that? Jacob Jackson, the sophomore.
Well, Jackson hit the crossbar earlier in this game, but this time able to work his way through the defense and able to beat McNaney low.
Now Holden. Malver again. Terps being patient. Inside, the shot in the goal. Tying a career high is Daniel Maltz. He has 5 on the day.
Well, it's Daniel Maltz's day here in College Park, but if you're a Maryland Terrapin fan, take a little mental screenshot of this goal, because this is a taste of the future. The freshman Eric Malver to the sophomore Daniel Maltz. That is what will be Maryland's attack.
To Grant McCurry from Solon, Ohio. Spinning inside, that shot from a tough angle flies over top of the cage.
It's been a lot of tough angles for Michigan today. Maryland doing a really good job, not necessarily only taking away potential shots, just taking away grade A opportunities, trusting your goalie to be able to make the saves from long distance, from tight angles.
Zawada now operating from the far side, and he puts it in. Almost caught Maryland napping a little bit there as he goes to the near post for his 3rd goal of the game, a hat trick.
That's a really quick trigger from Josh Zawada. Matt Rahill trying to put some clamps on him, had him wrong-footed, but just able to go to produce players that we talk about at the very highest level of college lacrosse.
Working inside, the shot there is into the stick of Kirikov. Came in from Ryan Syracuse. And a shot there on the other end, and Michigan finds another. That one, Michael Boehm, the freshman, his first goal in a Wolverines uniform.
It looked like it was the freshman out of Ohio with another really quick trigger. McNaney not really sensing where that ball is at that moment, and a nice screen there. It looked like
Maryland into the net for the Wolverines. Again, Michigan with the offensive possession. Their highest scoring quarter of the game so far, up to 3 now. And again, Michigan tacking them on here late in the game. Josh Zawada, another one for his day. And all of a sudden, it's a 10-goal game.
And the goals coming thick and fast for Michigan now out of almost absolutely nothing. In the 4th quarter, they've really turned on the offensive spigot, and Josh Zawada just able to get a little face toward.
Minutes left, a 10-goal deficit. With signs of life for the Wolverines. Here's Zawada. Feeds inside, a low shot, and it sneaks through. Things are getting interesting. Here's Nicholas DeMaio now into the game for the Terrapins. Younger brother of Anthony. Here's Chorus, another one of those freshman Terrapins. The shot there, and it finds the back of the net. The first goal in a Maryland uniform for Griffin Brown. He's now 1 goal away from a career 100. A big, big moment for the grad transfer.
We'll get that century watch up and running. Griffin Brown gets his first in a Maryland jersey and creeps ever so close to that magic number 100 mark.
Over, it's Dawson Wine. DeMaio inside, had his shot go wide at the near post, but it's scooped up by Wine. Now it finds its way to Daniel Kelly into the game, wearing the number 45. Cut across here, the shot and the goal. Chase Cope, the junior, gets on the scoreboard.
Well, Well, something about Chase Copen's season openers, because that's the second straight one that he has scored a goal in. It was his only goal in all of 2020, but that goal against High Point a year ago, now here against Michigan to start off 2021 on the right foot, going all the way across the face of goal to beat Shane Carr.
The Terps just
Can take going into the future. That's not the last time this season that Maryland's going to give up a run of goals against them. So it's how do you respond after being punched in the mouth? Chase Cope responds with a goal.
just a scrum around midfield trying to scoop this one up, and it's still not clear just yet. Eventually, Maryland has it after a long, long battle, and they'll transition into offense here on the right side of the field. A shot there, and it sneaks in. How about that one? Joshua Kaufman. All the Terps getting in on the action here, and Maryland has 20.
A little slow to get up, should I say. Joshua Kaufman only had a goal in all of 2020, but the short stick defensive mid, he says, hey, if we're all scoring goals, I want to get in on the action.
Inside the shot, that one flies pretty wide from Grant McCurry.
And once again, the Maryland defense just keeping those dodging lanes so far wide to the outside of Logan McNaney's net that they're able to get back defensively, bring the help when necessary, and keep the ball as far from McNaney's net as possible.
Boehm feeds over, a shot there, and another one for the Wolverines. Jake Bonomi.
Well, he had two in his opener a year ago against Cleveland State and got off to a really strong start in 2020 with 3 points in each of his first two games. And Bonomi getting back onto the score sheet here, able to step into that one. And
By quite a large margin.
so they'll certainly make it the longest in the Big Ten, the largest in the Big Ten, after Maryland moved from the ACC to the Big Ten a couple years ago, and that's just about job done.
So time expires on game 1 of 2021, and Maryland comes out on top 20-9.